Namaste, angels. I'm here to do the weekly reading, the general weekly reading from Sunday, May 14th, Mother's Day, through Saturday, May 20th, the day that Mercury exits the RX zone. So it'll be completely, wholly out of retrograde. Not only did it go direct already, but it will leave the shadow RX zone as well on the 20th. Okay, so I'm going to begin with the sky this week and astronomy.com. I'll start with Friday because this whole week is pretty interesting what goes on in the sky. The summer triangle, the Big Dipper, and other cool things to look for in the sky this week. Friday, May 12th. Although the calendar says May, the sky's summer triangle returns to prominence this month. The asterism's three bright stars, Vega in Lyra, Deneb in Cygnus, and Altair in Aquila, all clear the horizon by 11:30 p.m. local daylight time. An hour later, they rule the eastern sky. Vega shines brightest and appears at the apex of the triangular asterism. Look for Deneb to Vega's lower left and Altair to the lower right of the other two. The summer triangle will grace the northern hemisphere evening skies from now through the end of the year. The moon reaches apogee, the farthest point in its orbit around the Earth, at 3:51 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It then lies 407 miles from the Earth's center. And if I hadn't been looking at the numbers or adding the numbers in my head as I was reading, I might not have gotten confused. It's 9/11 or 11. 252,000 or 252 is 9. 407 is 11, 9/11 or 11. Saturday, May 13th, which is today, the day on which I'm doing this reading. Saturn offers a visual treat all week. The ringed planet rises around 11 p.m. local daylight time and climbs some 30 degrees above the southern horizon around 3 a.m. Tonight finds a magnitude of 0.2 Saturn in the company of the waning gibbous moon, which appears some 3 degrees to the planet's left as the pair rises. When viewed through a telescope this week, Saturn shows an 18-inch diameter disk surrounded by a spectacular ring system that spans 41 inches and tilts 26 degrees to our line of sight. Tomorrow, Mother's Day, Sunday, May 14th, Neptune rises around 3 a.m. local daylight time and appears low in the east-southeast before dawn. The distant world glows at a magnitude 7.9, so you'll need binoculars or at least a telescope to find it and spot it. Fortunately, it lies near a brighter star that will guide you to the planet. This morning, Neptune passes 9, is this foot? Sorry, yeah, it's foot. Due south. There was a marker there. And I wasn't sure if it was like a piece of dust on my laptop or what it was. It's like the latitude. Due south of 6 magnitude 81 Aquaril. The star shines some 5 times brighter than the planet. You can confirm your sighting of Neptune through a telescope, which reveals the planet's 2.3-inch diameter disk and blue-gray color. Monday, May 15th. Although Jupiter reached opposition and peak visibility more than a month ago, it remains a stunning sight nearly all night. It appears halfway from the southern horizon to the zenith by the time the twilight fades to darkness around 10 p.m. local daylight time. The planet resides among the background stars of Virgo, some 10 degrees northwest of the Maiden's brightest star, first magnitude Spica. When viewed through a telescope, Jupiter's disk spans 42 inches and shows a wealth of detail in its atmosphere. Tuesday, May 16th. Venus appears brilliant in the eastern sky from the time it rises at around 4 a.m. local daylight time until close to sunrise nearly 2 hours later. It stands 10 degrees above the horizon an hour before the sun comes up. Shining at a magnitude -4.6, it easily ranks as the night sky's brightest lit after the moon. When viewed through a telescope, this morning Venus spans 30 inches and appears about 40% lit. Wednesday, May 17th. Mercury reaches its greatest elongation today when it lies 26 degrees west of the sun and appears 4 degrees above the eastern horizon 30 minutes before sunrise. To locate the innermost planet, scan the area to the lower left of Venus with binoculars. Mercury shines at a magnitude of 0.5 and should stand out with this optical aid, though you may have a hard time spying it against the twilight glow with your naked eye. Because the planet grows brighter during the next 2 weeks and doesn't lose any altitude, you can follow it through the end of May. Thursday, May 18th, which is the day that Venus leaves its shadow RX zone completely. The last quarter moon occurs at 8:33 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time when it rises around 2 a.m. local daylight time tomorrow morning. It will appear a bit less than a half lit. Earth's only natural satellite appears against the backdrop of Aquarius, the water bearer. Saturn starts today among the background stars of Western Sagittarius, but crosses the invisible border into a Ophiuchus or something. This is that hunter, the serpent bearer. This is the Latin name, Ophiuchus, or Greek name, and I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Ophiuchus, I would say. Ophiuchus. But it's definitely the serpent bearer. Anyway, it will remain among the serpent bearer's stars until November. I don't know why they didn't just say that in the beginning. Anyway, let me read that one again, since that made no sense. Saturn starts today among the background stars of Western Sagittarius, but crosses the invisible border by the day's end. It will remain among the serpent bearer's stars until November, when it moves back into Sagittarius. That was so much easier and clearer. Friday, May 19th, which is Malcolm X's birthday. Malcolm X, who, according to me, is the anointed one of that the scriptures speak of. Okay, by my mathematical calculations, based on the book of Daniel and a few of the other books of the Bible. I've been over this before. Perhaps some of the Torah and things like that. I came to this mathematical conclusion that, in my capacity and opinion, Malcolm X is the quote-unquote anointed one of the scriptures. May 19th is his birthday. Of course, it's obviously a 19, which indicates, according to me, yet again, that it is certainly of the Father. All dates and all of these prominent dates that are of a 19 or 13 are of God, and the people connected to them are of God. It's not a mistake that, for example, St. Joseph is celebrated on March 19th, and et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, the Big Dipper's familiar shape lies nearly overhead on May evenings. The spring sky's finest binocular double star marks the bend of the Dipper's handle. Mizar shines at second magnitude, some 6 times brighter than its fourth magnitude companion Alcor. Even though these two are not physically related, they make a fine sight through binoculars. People with good eyesight often can split the pair without an optical aid. A small telescope reveals Mizar itself as double, and these components do orbit each other. Saturday, May 20th. Mars, which again is the day that Mercury exits its RX zone. So these 3 days in a row, 18, 19, 20, very high energy if you ask me. Mars days, I think they're trying to say Mars as in a plural. Like Mars's days as a prominent evening object are dwindling, yes, to a precious few. That makes a lot more sense saying it that way. The red planet appears 10 degrees high in the west northwest 45 minutes after sunset and dips below the horizon shortly before 10 p.m. local daylight time. The magnitude 1.7 planet lies among the background stars of Taurus the Bull. Unfortunately, a telescope shows no detail on the ruddy world's 4-inch diameter disk. And lastly, Sunday, May 21st, the sky's brilliant asteroid should be relatively easy to find through binoculars or a telescope this evening. 8th magnitude Vesta resides in the constellation Cancer, the Crab, just 3 degrees north of the spectacular Beehive star cluster M44. To confirm a sighting, sketch 4 or 5 stars in the field of view, and then return to the same field a night or two later. Vesta will be the star that moved. And while you're in the area, be sure to enjoy the view of the Beehive. You should be able to spot the cluster as a faint and fuzzy cloud with your naked eye, but M44 explodes into dozens of stars through binoculars or a small telescope at low power. And that's what's going on in the sky this week, according to astronomy.com. And I'm going to go to the first spread, beginning with freedom and the hashtag creepy deck. Opening to open relationship. And the young male, which can be an actual young male or somebody that's youthful. Open relationship back. And that brunette female, the green-eyed monster, as I like to call her, is upright here. Open relationship and control in reverse. Soulmate was reversed too. And open relationship, I'll go one more, and it's gifts. New love and gossip is sticking out, so I figured I'd point that. People may be talking about the new love. You ever heard that song, Let's Give Them Something to Talk About? How about love? Like that. I think it's by Bonnie Raitt. Don't ask me how I know. Overall energy is past life. The feminine is all about work this week. Work, 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 work. Now, this can be, in that sense, if it has anything to do with the sentiments of like the Rihanna and Drake song, then it has to do with work that we're putting into our relationships, and perhaps particularly into our romantic relationships, how to get back to the right place, or how to get one another back, how to get back where we belong. That's what the song is about. It's about effort toward the relationship. So it can be that, or it can be literally work, as in, putting all your focus and energy into your money. Mind on your money, money on your mind. The masculine about us, Ice Queen, ouch. Maybe he feels shut out, frozen out. I was feeling, actually, before I made this, that there were divine masculine out there that were hoping, like they're wanting to reconnect, but they want you to call them. And the feminine naturally thinking like, but I always do. I always initiate. I'm not doing it. He has to do it. And him wanting you to get over that. That's what I was feeling before I started the reading. I don't know if that's what's going to come out here, but it looks like it may be, because he's feeling Ice Queen from us. On another note, it can have dual meaning. This can be an air sign, female, particularly, specifically. We saw a lot of that this week, and I said that this month was going to be all about Gemini and Scorpio. So this could very well be a Gemini or an Aquarius, or even a Libra. The masculine about himself, friendship. spending time learning to like himself and to be clear about his own boundaries. We did some things with boundaries in the Saturday the 13th reading that I did, like the feminine setting some boundaries. And this looks like the masculine setting some too, like being clear and being clear and authentic and genuine in his relationships and as to like what they are, you know, where the lines are and not to cross them, but also spending time learning to like himself more, love himself more, which is very, very important. About the union, courting man. This is what he wants to do. But he, like I said, he wants, I was feeling before I did this reading, he wants the feminine to initiate. I don't know if we're going to do that or what the outcome of this is going to be, but he is wanting to be this courting man, you know, dating, take you out, official. And, you know, if you're doing that, if we're going to be old fashioned and all that, then he should be the one to call in that case. Overall, new love is back. This is what it's all about. Renewing these relationships. For some of us, it is brand new love. We're meeting for the first time, which is awesome too. The outcome, dating queen, goes perfect with the courting man. It means we say yes, most of us. What will the masculine have us do? For some in some, it's separation is what's coming through from this long distance card. In some cases, that's what it is. He's having us to be patient, basically, and wait out a separation. For others, he wants us to show to him that we're willing to go the distance. You know, we're willing to go the long haul, as they say. And I'm getting them that's kind of the case for everybody, like for all of them. That's what they want, even those that will be in separation. That's part of going the long haul and going the distance, is that, you know, you can wait some of these things out and without freaking out and, you know, losing it, and or maybe becoming a dating queen and taking an offer from somebody else or something, because that's really what this card is about. He has lived his karma. He's been going through quite a bit of it, experiencing quite a bit of it. And he's like not afraid of it anymore. He was fighting it before, and it was because of fear. You know, like I don't, he kind of knew what kind of karma he set up, or what kind of karma he could expect to have by, you know, some of the ways he's treated people in the past, and he didn't want that for himself. And so that was the fear of facing his own life and what he's designed, his own 5 of swords, basically. You know, now you got to deal with it. What goes up must come down, all that kind of stuff. But now he's like ready, willing, and able to face whatever he has to have, whatever he has to, you know, for the sake of the union, which is beautiful. And what the universe would have us both do is just let go of the pride and come together in this very passionate and loving way. How beautiful is that? Everybody get to see? Ugh. So now I'm going to go to the Angel Tarot, beginning with the Sun and Archangel Uriel. Happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success. Have confidence in yourself. So this is an awesome card all the way around for everybody, but for some of us, it also means some of us have to go to the doctor. We may even be in the hospital. We may even be undergoing some sort of surgery or MRI, CAT scan, maybe mammogram, all these sorts of things. But it's going to be fine. Even those that are having a surgery this week, you know, you'll come out just fine. Opening 2. The Page of Fire, who's outgoing, creative, confident, mischievous. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. So that's basically Sun on Sun. Because Major Arcana card, the Sun obviously represents fire signs. And now the Page of Fire, still a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. As is the Strength card with Archangel Ariel. Great inner strength. Release harsh judgments. Forgiveness and compassion. Page of Fire back. And opening to the Queen of Water, who's tenderhearted, empathetic, patient, and loving, and quite possibly a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition, care for yourself and others. Put the Page of Fire is back, and it's the Four of Air. Time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. Page of Fire. And it's the Three of Earth. The power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work. Be a team player. So this can be very literally, especially for the feminine, who is putting all of her energies and focus on her work. But since it's here for all of us, what it can also mean is that the boss has a very watchful eye on us right now, and it's for good reason. He wants to give us a promotion, a bonus, a raise, something like that. This boss can very well be the universe. It can be God. It can be the goddess Venus, goddess of love and money, wanting to reward us. She's been wanting to reward us for the past couple weeks. And it can also be some sort of party of three, some sort of situation involving three people, perhaps at the office. The overall energy is the Two of Fire. You've come into your own. Your new partnerships or contracts continue to move forward. So these can be in business or in love, specifically new love, or both. You could be going into business with your beloved, or one of you maybe deciding to remain at home while the other one goes out to work. And that's your contract, your deal, your arrangement. Whatever this means for you, it's a good thing. This is never a negative card. And it's the Divine Partnership card of the tarot. Wait till you see with what else I'm starting after you've seen that that's our overall energy. The masculine is the King of Water, trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice and charity work. The King of Water, very possibly a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. Surrounded by, what I say, Scorpio and Gemini all month and next month. How about that? The Lovers with Archangel Raphael. Intimate relationships. Carefully weigh your decisions. Also good health. So again, to those who have to go to the hospital, the doctor, you're having a serious test, a surgery, no worries. But yes, this can very well be mother and father. King Osiris and Queen Isis sitting here together, heading up the reading. With the Two of Earth in the masculine subconscious, too much going on at once. The need to make a decision. Consider a more playful approach. For some, this Lover's card does represent the need to make a decision. This is decision sitting on top decision, or indecision sitting on top indecision, and the need to make one. For others, the Lovers is the Lovers, and it sits here beneath the King of love and emotion, so that's a beautiful thing. This can also be here because, speaking of Queen Isis, she, in the Ascended Masters deck, shows up on a card that's about being able to balance work and home life. Remember, the feminine was all about work this week, coming through to the masculine as an ice queen. Maybe this is why she's not doing a very good of balancing work and home. It looks like she only has time for the work part and no home, and maybe not him. And he wants to be the courting man. He wants to take her out. So that could be it for some of us. We need to figure out how to balance our lives better. Make sure we make time for our loved ones and for ourselves to be alone too. For others, yes, we do have a decision to make, likely about something earthly, perhaps involving another person, two karmic relationships, and the earthly situation could be down to with whom to to be, and where to live, and all that kind of stuff. With whom to go into partnership of any kind. When I picked this up, also up right behind it is the star. So prayers have been answered, wishes have been granted. This is a big yes from, so if you're a yes or no question, the answer is yes. This is a big yes from the major arcana. Happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans. You're on the right path. We've already seen, I want you to know, by the way, the sun, the star, the lovers, the king of water, the queen of water, new love. What else? I don't remember, but it's been awesome. Is my point. Oh, the two of fire. Okay. Hello, feminine. The four of earth. Being too frivolous or too cautious with money, good business decisions, and giving to those less fortunate. It's not only with money that we could be giving too generous or too frivolous or too cautious. It can be with ourselves too. We could be, withholding love, and withholding ourselves. And for some, I'm going to say we definitely are, again, because we're coming through as the ice queen, who's only interested in work. So maybe we need to loosen the reins, like, around our hearts. And particularly you guys, my fellow air signs out there, we could be giving off the wrong impression. Very easy for us to do that. For us to come off cold and unfeeling and like we don't care, we're not interested. So if the masculine is at home waiting for us to call him and we're not calling, and he's peeking in on our, speaking of the star, he's peeking in on our social media, let's say, and he's like, oh, look at all the fun she's having, dating queen. She's, out with this one, out with that one, gallivanting, right? Gallivanting around the place, enjoying life, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. But it could be giving off the impression of like we don't care about his feelings, which is not our problem, by the way. It is his problem if he's creating an illusion like that in his mind. I'm just saying what we could be possibly giving off, very easily done by an air sign to appear, like we don't care about anything and we just completely moved on with life. Because in some cases it's true. Sometimes we, because we're good at that also. We are good at moving on with life, when we're made to believe something is over. So to those divine masculine who've done that, who've, told the divine feminine, particularly if she's an air sign, that it's over, and really giving her that impression, don't expect her to come lurking, and looking for you, because it's likely not going to happen. Surrounding the feminine, the wheel with Archangel Michael, a time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward and fortune is on your side. Such beautiful, wonderful cards today, wonderful energies. In the feminine subconscious, it's the Knight of Earth. Loyal, dedicated, honorable, and kind is the Knight of Earth. It's time to buckle down and get things done. Honor your commitments. You have a guardian angel. Crowning, the two of air, more of a need to make a decision here, crossing the lovers. So again, decision on decision action. Being unable or unwilling to make said decision, having reached a stalemate and pretending there's no problem. At the root, the five of water, things not turning out the way you'd hoped. Not seeing the positive of a situation and crying over spilled milk. The oh, woe is me card. Maybe because we are putting all I get to do is work. I don't get to have fun. I'm missing, things are not going my way. I can't make any money. It's trickling in. It's coming too slow. Blah, blah, blah. That could be. At the heart of the matter, the Queen of Fire, who's confident, warm, intelligent, graceful. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. I'm trying to decide what to clarify. I think the Two of Earth. It's the Six of Earth, gifts of money, time, or effort, new career opportunities, and receiving a loan or paying off debts. So maybe if the masculine is contemplating some sort of decision with regard to work, maybe because he's afraid that nothing's going to be coming his way, he's wrong. This is on its way in. Gifts of money, time, or effort. So this can have to do with love too. Again, time or effort. Maybe again, not making enough time for one another. The feminine not making enough time for you. She's enthralled in her work, and not giving you a second look or thought. That is going to be changing. You'll be even exchange with each other, and you'll be receiving justice and righteousness here in this situation. The two of air. It's the seven of water. More. Now I'm clarifying the need to make a decision with a card about the need to make a decision, a complex decision at that, and the need to do research. Stop procrastinating. This can have be a decision having to do with family, maybe specifically children. Although the seven of water doesn't say children to me necessarily, water or cups do in general, and this decision can very well have to do with children and or family because it does involve love and emotion. So it can be about a partner too, two karmic partners. You know what? Let's look for the next upright card. The world, a job well done, joy, contentment, and abundance. I'm sorry, joy, contentment, and gratitude, the path toward enlightenment. And it's a 21, which means it could very well have to do with another person, a party of three, and the decision is with regard to ending a long trying situation, of whatever nature. I mean, this is the general reading. It could be any nature. It could have to do with the earthly, and the earthly could have to do with another person in a romantic sense too. Like where do we go from here? Can you go the distance? Can you stand the rain? Type of thing. And and if somebody can't, we got to walk away from that. They haven't stood it for the past 50 years. We got to get out of this. That kind of thing. This can be about a job, changing jobs, like I was saying down here. The masculine contemplating a situation having to do with work, maybe, and worried about that. He'll make the right choice. Whatever happens, it's going to work out in his favor, says the Six of Earth. So this could be the same thing, letting go of an old energy, whether it's an old person in your life, even if that old person is a boss or something, a job, a friendship, whatever. Getting rid of it is the decision that we're to make here. For the Five of Water, that page of fire is back. So this is a new opportunity for you. And it's going to be sitting here now next to this Six of Earth, which is the gifts of money, time, or effort. So this new opportunity that you were not expecting. You were saying, oh, woe is me, because things weren't going on your way. And in the case of the feminine, maybe things are going too slow with this Knight of Earth. He's very methodical. He's very planned. And, he can be difficult to wait on because it can be painful. Like it's coming, it's going to be definite, but man, like I needed it yesterday is how you feel with the Knight of Earth. But this new opportunity coming through here for us, and again having to do with leaving another situation alone, that opens up the flow. For the Four of Earth, Eight of Air. So the feminine is withholding something, perhaps love, money. She's withholding herself in one capacity or another because she feels bound, perhaps to an earth sign who's thoughtful, creative, warm, and sensible otherwise. Make time for those around her. She could feel bound to work and money too, and is having that difficulty of balancing work and career, or work and home life, or finances and a social life. Like maybe feeling bound, feeling stuck with a partner, perhaps romantic, but it could be like a parent or somebody too. Somebody with whom or on whom you rely for some sort of financial support. Feeling stuck with them because of that financial support. Like I can't leave their money. You might be able to leave them, but like you can't leave their money is what this is saying. Whether that's a boss, a partner, an ex-partner, like the father of your kids. Maybe that's why the decision had to do with family or possibly children and another person. But this Eight of Air sitting here next to what was the Seven of Cups and now the World. All of those things, possibilities. And I'll take the last upright card that's here for the Lovers. And it's the Ten of Water. A contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional and material needs are met. Trustworthy relationships. So I think even for some of the masculine, this has to do with a choice having to do with family or children, and not being sure which way to go. Deciding that the way to go is to pursue love, basically. The Knight of Water, emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, and contemplative. Falling in love or wedding proposals and the need to balance emotions, maybe even an invitation to a social event. That could be about family coming together. It can be about an actual proposal or some other kind of commitment into which you come together, romantic commitment or partnership. Again, with the Two of Fire, business partnership, two friends coming together. Maybe you haven't spoken in a while. You used to hit it off. You used to be able to do things together. Somebody got in between. They got in between not only your friendship but your money. And you're changing all of that. But that's why you're emotionally invested in it, because it is somebody about whom you care, but your pocket is involved too. And that's for both. That's for the masculine, that's for the feminine. Things turning around, however, with the energy of the wheel here, and Archangel Michael coming through with that. And with Archangel Michael coming through with this new crowning energy of the world to help us out of this situation. Once we make the decision, we take that first step by making the decision, and that triggers him, that signals him that he can proceed. He helps us to ease out of that situation that was difficult, and he helps to ease us into a new one that's not difficult at all. That's one where we want to be, one that feels good. I don't know why I have the romance cards here, because these are for the romance reading. I'll bring these back when I do the love reading, but I had shuffled them and landed on soulmate with which to start. However, similarly, with my angel therapy cards, I'm beginning with twin flame. The answer to your question involves a spiritually based romantic relationship. So maybe I could have gotten to this a lot sooner. This answer here, instead of clarifying with all those extra cards, I could have just said the answer is twin flame. Just follow wherever that is. I took the long way. I did it the Night of Earth way. Opening 2, be willing to forgive. Ask the angels to clear your mind and body of past pain in exchange for peacefulness. Twin flame. Release, like a Scorpio or an air sign, a Gemini maybe. Work with Archangel Michael to let go of what no longer serves you or your purpose. Release. And integrity. Align your actions so that they match your values and your inner knowingness of what's right for you. Release. Okay. Shield yourself. Protect yourself from harsh or fear-based energies by envisioning a cocoon of healing light surrounding you. Overall energies, ascended masters, powerful, loving, and wise spiritual teachers are watching over you and guiding you. And lastly, from the Ascended Masters deck, beginning with Saint Germain, work your magic. Opening 2, come out of the closet, says Amaterasu. Work your magic. And speaking of Isis and her balanced career and home life card, here she is with that energy. She wants you to figure out how to do both. Opening 2, you can do it, says Archangel Michael. Work your magic and focus upon your strength, says Apollo. Saint Germain is back. I'm going to cut. And it's positive change with power body. Whoop. Overall energy is open your heart to love, says Jesus. cards jumped out, by the way. And they are of the same color scheme. For one, meditate, says Siddhartha Buddha, and Isis is back with this balanced career and home life. Masculine, the power of joy. Some of you are having a baby. Some of you are expanding your family in other ways. You're asking the feminine to enter some sort of commitment with you. Perhaps marriage. It doesn't have to be marriage. It can just be, you're just getting started. But it brings you tremendous joy, emotional fulfillment. That's what all of these cards, the lovers, the 10 of water, the Knight of water, and the power of joy. Okay, this is about a tremendous amount of emotional happiness for the masculine. Sitting here under, by the way, the King of water, and atop the 6 of earth, which is one of my favorite cards in the deck, all about love and exchange, justice, righteousness, like true caring, true unconditional love, giving of yourself, of oneself, because they want to, not because they feel pressured or whatever. Like, these are free. These are gifts of money, time, or effort. This is not like, you owe me. So this is one of my favorites. And 6 equals love. Anyway, so feminine energy healing to help us to get through this 8 of air energy and to be able to free ourselves from whatever that is to which we feel bound. Work on maybe the meditation. Maybe that's why Buddha jumped out of the deck, to help us with meditation. And maybe also that's why Isis jumped out of the deck, to tell us about balancing career and home life, to remind us that we can earn our own money. Like, we don't have to rely on somebody else to pay our way, or whatever the case is. And, the universe will provide. It will show us how we are to provide for ourselves. It will, work it out and give us those clear messages as to what we should be doing. Crowning. Ooh, atop of the world. And the 2 of air and the 7 of cups. Now, decision that needs to be made. The decision, according to the white buffalo calf woman, is that we need to extend the olive branch. Okay, and it can be extended from here to here, and it can be extended from here to here. Similar to the first spread, where the universe wanted us to both sacrifice our pride and just like succumb to the passion and come together in that loving passion and embrace. The universe coming through to say that yet again. You both need to be willing to extend the olive branch to one another. On another note, the peace offering card showing up here, especially crowning my reading, means that there will be death this week. At the root, yoga. So another means, again, of getting over this, oh, woe is me, and maybe being able to think more clearly. After some meditation, we'll realize that there's 2 cups standing here, and that we're not so, bad off after all. That these that have spilled, we need to just let them go. That we're still very, very blessed with this. Advice, masculine health and healing with Hilarion. This is what you're to work on this week. And I think it's going to be kind of easy, because you have a lot of really loving, healing, positive emotion energy surrounding you. And we all have this energy surrounding us, this very blessed energy from Jesus as the overall energy of open your heart to love. So as long as you do that, the health and healing, I think, is going to come kind of naturally. Feminine, right, says thought. This can be maybe a note. Maybe that's how you'll extend the olive branch. A note, a text, a card or something to the masculine. So you don't have to actually call him and put yourself out there in that sense, like where you're worried, what's he going to say? Same way he's worried about what you're going to say. You can write whatever you have to say, everything at once, down on a piece of paper and give it to him that way, or, text message. Advice from the hashtag creepy deck, blonde female. So I'm first thing that came to mind was somebody's child, actually. Not that this is the divine feminine. I mean, for some of us, this can be you. Um, and then you can know that this is an empowering week for you. But in others, or for others, this has to do with somebody's child. Somebody's child is a blonde or maybe a red-haired, female. Um, I don't feel anything negative, but something going on with that child this week, and it might be coming through because of this decision here that you have to make. That I already said probably has to do with a child for some, or children. Masculine, the Six of Fire. You got such beautiful cards this week. Victory. Good news is on its way. Public recognition or awards. Another six for you, by the way, too. Six equals love. Feminine, from the angels. The Sun. Happy outcome. Brilliant new ideas that lead to success if you have confidence in yourself. If you believe, I don't need this man, I don't need this woman, my ex, my current, my mother, my father to pay my way. I can figure this out. I can sit down, get into some meditation, and ask God for answers on how I can balance my life and be able to take care of my children and, still have a life and a love life. And all of that works out for you. Again, also anybody having to go to the doctor, that also going to be fine this week. And it might be the child that has to go to the doctor. Maybe that's what it is. And some of us very worried about that. And all is well there too. From the hashtag keep your deck to the masculine. It's fun times. I should say so. I mean, everything's going so well for you. It is cause for a celebration, and get out and enjoy yourself. Balance that work and home life. Make a social life for yourself. And all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. From the angel therapy cards to you, masculine. Fairies. You have a strong bond with the fairies, and your life purpose involves helping Mother Nature. Interesting. Think about what that may mean for you, other than the fact that we all just need to get out and sort of commune with Mother Nature. But what else might you do toward humanity and or the earth? And feminine, write any worries, concerns, or desires on a piece of paper that you put into a special container called a God box as a way of letting go and allowing the divine to help you. And if you're like me, the box will be bronze and you will set the contents on fire afterwards. I hope that you enjoyed the weekly reading. Namaste, angels.